Hey up everyone, Magpie Gaming here. I hope you're all doing well. So I've got some more Starfield news for you guys today, but first off I just want to say that I will not be sharing any spoilers about the game on this channel until the game has released. Obviously the review codes went out to publications and journalists yesterday. Whenever that happens there's always leaks, there's always gameplay footage that ends up being put out there. I will not be showing any of that or doing any of the leaks, taking part in it whatsoever. I'd like it to be as fresh for people as it is going to be for me on the 1st of September when I play this game. So I won't be sharing any of that stuff, so you don't have to worry about any of those things appearing on this channel. Next up we have the important question, of which most people will already know the answer to, but it's not as clear cut as you might think, and that is, will Starfield ever come to the PlayStation 5? Being a question that's been asked ever since it was announced that it would be an Xbox exclusive, and of course with Microsoft's muddied acquisition of Activision going on, we've been able to be sort of privy to a bit more information on this subject than we might usually get, and that's because court papers have been filed and interviews have been put out to the press about what is actually being said during their proposed acquisition of Activision, and they've also spoken about other studios that they've bought, ZeniMax being one of those. Obviously ZeniMax is the sister company to Bethesda, so when Microsoft bought them they also acquired Bethesda at the same time, and it's basically come out that Phil Spencer, who is the head of Xbox, has said, you know, we bought this studio basically to stop Starfield becoming a PlayStation 5 exclusive. Now they'd already lost out on a couple of games that had gone to the PlayStation 5 and would not be coming to the Xbox at that time, so they decided to step in and make sure that Starfield was simply all theirs. Now they do say that development of the game had started before the studio was acquired, so it could be that somewhere in Bethesda's studios on their servers there is actually a very early version of Starfield for the PlayStation platform. It could be, however, that since Microsoft have took over, all of that work might have been deleted and destroyed, or it could be that they've maybe kept it. I would assume that the guys at Bethesda have probably had a chat and said, you know what, we don't know if this is ever going to go to the PlayStation 5. My personal opinion is that at some point Microsoft might want to just try and cash in a little bit more on Starfield once they've rinsed it on the Xbox and PC platform, and think, you know what, we might as well release it to the PlayStation, make a little bit more money on it. But they'll do this when Starfield is sort of towards the end of its life, so I certainly can't see it going over onto the PlayStation platform anytime sort of within the next couple of years at least. It's going to be exclusive for quite some time, if maybe not forever. I don't really know, but I think the whole argument of exclusivity is one that's never going to go away, definitely. I mean, PlayStation and Sony have had a lot of exclusives, but slowly they're trickling out onto the PC platform for sure, obviously with Horizon Zero West and the other games that have come over, sort of Death Stranding, things like that. They've been exclusives but they've eventually come over, so it could be that some will go the other way. We'll have to wait and see. And following on from a recent video I did about modding within Starfield, it's been announced that the game will launch at a version that's going to be a lot higher than Fallout 4 ever did. So when Fallout 4 released, it was at version 1.1.0.0, and it's now rumoured that Starfield will launch at version 1.6.35.0, which is substantially higher. Now this has been put out on Twitter, or X as you want to call it now. I'm still going to call it Twitter, I can't get used to X, and this has been published a lot in a lot of sort of news channels that are following Starfield, and whether it's true or not I don't know. How you can say that the game is going to launch in a certain version in 2 weeks time is beyond me, but some people are saying that it will launch in that version. I would assume though that with all the people that are currently playing the game on the review codes, Bethesda will be pushing out updates, if not daily, to the game, fixing things that have been reported back to them. Obviously there will be some sort of in-game system that will debug the game and send them reports back, and they will be relying, I would assume, on feedback from some of these guys that are playing the game to look at any issues that are currently in it. They did recently say though, however, Phil Spencer and Matt Booty, who is one of the execs at Xbox, they did say that this game will be the least buggy game that Bethesda have ever shipped. And they said this some 2 weeks ago, and they even said at that point 2 weeks ago that if it was to ship then, it would still be the least buggy game. Given that they had another 4 weeks to play with it, it should come out with 0 bugs. I don't think that's ever going to happen though. It will have bugs, but I'm expecting a pretty smooth experience when it does launch. I mean, going on those words, if I'm to believe them, then it should launch in a very, very good state, but we will have to wait and see. So on launch day, I will be doing, like I say, I'm not going to share any spoilers, but on launch day, I will be doing a day one quick review of the game. I'll put maybe 6 or 7 hours into the game, and then I'll put a quick review out on the channel. I did think about maybe streaming my first couple of hours on the game for people to see. I don't know if that maybe is a bit too spoilerish for people, but I will think about maybe streaming some of it. I haven't streamed for years. I can't even remember how to do it, so I'll have to get my OBS up to speed and maybe do that on the day. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that or not, but we will see. But yeah, I will be doing sort of a day one review of the game so that people can just have a quick look if they're interested, and then I'll maybe do another review maybe a week or so later once the actual game releases for everybody else that hasn't paid the extra for early access. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for this video. As always, thank you very much for watching and listening. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Stay safe, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care.